Welcome to Mission Apsc AJ YouTube channel. যদি আপোনালোকে চেনেলটো নতুনকৈ আহিছে দেন প্লিজ লাইক শেয়াৰ এণ্ড সাবস্ক্ৰাইব কৰি দিব। আজি আমি ডিসকাস কৰিবলৈ লৈছো বিল্ডিং মেটেৰিয়েলছৰ এটা কুইক ৰিভিজনছ। আজিৰ এই ভিডিঅ'টোত আমি ডিসকাস কৰিম বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ টাইপস অফ কংক্ৰিট, কিয়নো কংক্ৰিটক লৈ বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ কোৱেশ্চনছ আহে এপিএসসিৰ ইঞ্জিনিয়াৰিং এক্সামছ বিলাকত। সো কংক্ৰিটক লৈ যিবিলাক কোৱেশ্চনছ আহিব পাৰে তাৰ এটা ৰিভিজন আজিৰ এই ভিডিঅ'টোত আমি কৰিম। So first, what is concrete? Concrete is a composite man-made material. Is the most widely used building materials in the construction industry. So concrete ki hoy? Concrete is basically the man-made materials. Ami concrete ok man-made material bili kobo paru. Aru etu ki hoy? Building material hisabe construction site ot use kora hoy. So it is a composite man-made material. Okay, it consists of a rationally chosen mixtures of binding materials such as lime or cement, well-graded fine and coarse aggregate water admixture to produce concrete with special properties. So amak jodi kunbai hude what is the definition of concrete? Concrete is, we can say that concrete is a mixture of lime. So if it is a mixture of lime, I mean lime law tar logot we are adding fine grades. Okay, then we also add coarse aggregate, then we also add water. Okay, so jetia ami lime, fine aggregate, coarse aggregate, water and cement ei gutei khini jetia add kori eta mixtures pao, that mixture is nothing but a concrete. Okay, so in the concrete mix, cement and water form a paste or matrix which in addition to filling the voids of aggregate, fine aggregates, coats the surface of fine and coarse aggregate and binds them together. So hihotor major jitu mixture, he mixture to ki bili koa hoy? Concrete bili koa hoy. So the matrix is usually 20 to 34% of the total volume. So এই যেটো matrix আমি from কৰো হেতু total volume or 22 পৰা 34% হয়. Okay, so coming to the next slide. Freshly mixed concrete before set is known as wet or green concrete. So green concrete বা wet concrete বুলিলে যিখিনি আমি directly mix কৰো, suppose we are mixing cement, sand and aggregate, and before the setup of this concrete it is called as wet or green concrete. But jodi cement to ba concrete khini setting aru hardening hoi jay tar pisot jitu concrete form hoy, that for concrete is hardened concrete. Fresh concrete to ami wet concrete ba green concrete bili ko, aru jitu after setting or after hardening ami pao hetu ami hardened concrete bili ko. The mold of concrete mix after sufficient curing becomes hard like stone due to chemical actions between the water and binding material. So concrete mix to hard kyo hoy? Because of the chemical actions between the water and binding material. Keteba hude why the concrete is harder after certain time interval. So we can say that because there is an chemical actions between the water and between the binding materials. Okay, it would be impossible to discuss the aspect of it would be impossible to discuss the all the aspect of the materials in few pages, and discussion is confined to the general characteristics and quality test necessary for it used by civil engineer or architect. So gute a particular concrete or gutei khini bishoy discuss kora to সম্ভৱ নহয়. So tar karone prottekto site ot tar jikhini site or conditions tar upor depend kori he kisman quality test kori pelai concrete or characteristics khini swa hoy. Okay, so next cement material ba cementing material or khetot concrete ok normally tinta part of bhag kora hoy. Lime concrete jot lime thake বেছি পৰিমাণে majority, ঠিক একেদৰে gypsum concrete য'ত gypsum add কৰা হয়, cement concrete য'ত cement add কৰা হয়. So based on perspective specification, the cement concrete is specified the proportions of different ingredients. Example, cement, fine aggregate, coarse aggregate. Okay, It is pre-assumed that by adhering to such prospective specifications, satisfactory percentage may be achieved. So, সদায় আমি এটা appropriate proportionত আমি concrete বনাবলৈ try কৰোঁ. Like for example, আমি cement বা fine aggregate বা coarse aggregateৰ মাজত এটা relationship সদায় ৰখা হয়. Okay. Next, so এই যিটো proportion আমি ৰাখোঁ সেই proportionটোৰ যিটো m later সেইটো mix refer কৰে. কেতিয়াবা examত সুধি দিয়ে what they mean by the m. So m is nothing but the mix. আৰু concrete mixৰ this type of concrete mix is also known as nominal mix. আৰু ইয়াক nominal mix বুলি কোৱা হয়. Conventional nominal mix properties have limited significance since the quantity of fine aggregate is fixed irrespective of the cement content. Water cement ratio and the maximum size of the aggregate to be used. So cement or fine aggregate or quantity khini fix kora hoy, but water cement ratio aggregate ebilak variable hoy. Okay, the proportion of the material of normal mixed concrete as given in the table are prevalent in the field. However, IS 456 restricted it's only up to M20 grade. So yete kisuman table ase, he tables bilak mukhosto koribo lage. So that keteba examot ahi jay, keteba hudibo M10 concrete or mixed proportion to kiman 1:3:6, M15 or kiman hudi dibo pare 1:2:4, M20 1:1.5:3. 1 mane hoise cement, 1.5 is sand and 3 is we can say aggregate. Cement sand or aggregator jito proportion hetu. Or M25 jito amar ajikali widely use kora hoy. So M25 or 1 week cement, 1 week sand and 2 week coarse aggregate. Okay, so ekita ratio very important. Hudi thake 1:3:6, M10, M15 1:2:4, M20 1:1.5:3, M20 1:1:2. Okay, so characteristic strength বা prospective strength to jitu amar m or pisor khini hei termte find kore. So M10 mane hoise 10 MPa characteristic strength. ঠিক একেদৰে 15 মানে 15 MP, 20 মানে 20 MP আৰু 25 is 25 MP characteristics strength. Okay, so based on the performance oriented specification, when the concrete properties such as strength, water cement ratio, compaction ratio, slump etc are specified in the concrete may be classified design mixed concrete. আৰু যেতিয়া আমি water cement ratio to consider কৰো, compaction factor, slump, strength এইবিলাকো কনসিডাৰ কৰোঁ, তেতিয়া আমি তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ মিক্স বিলাকক আমি ডিজাইন মিক্স কংক্ৰিট বুলি কওঁ. আগৰখিনি নমিনেল মিক্স আছিলে, তাত কম্পেকশ্যন ফেক্টৰ, স্লাম্পছ, ৱাটাৰ চিমেণ্ট ৰেচিঅ' এইখিনি কনসিডাৰ কৰা নহয়. ফৰ ডিজাইন মিক্স কংক্ৰিট দ্য মিক্স ডিজাইন ইজ টু প্ৰডিউচ দ্য গ্ৰেড অফ কংক্ৰিট হেভিং দ্য ৰিকুৱাৰ্ড ৱৰ্কেবিলিটি এণ্ড এ কেৰেক্টাৰিষ্টিক ষ্ট্ৰেংথ নট লেছ দেন দ্য এপ্ৰপ্ৰিয়েট ভেলু. চ' কেতিয়াবা সুধি দিয়ে M5ৰ কেৰেক্টাৰিষ্টিক ষ্ট্ৰেংথ কিমান, 5, M7.5ৰ 7.5. চ' তেনেকৈ আপোনালোকে মনত ৰাখিব পাৰে. অ'কে, so এটা important questions কেতিয়াবা সুধে যে minimum grade of the concrete which is used for RCC. RCC minimum কিমান গ্ৰেডৰ concrete use কৰিব পাৰি, আৰু মনত ৰাখিব M20 গ্ৰেডৰ concrete use কৰিব পাৰি. এক্সামত সুধি থাকে as per IS 456 2000 recommendations. Okay, IS 456 2000 recommendations. Then coming to the next slide. So ডিফাৰেণ্ট এক্সপ'জাৰ কণ্ডিশ্যনছখিনি আমি মনত ৰখাটো দৰকাৰ, পায়ে সুধি থাকে. চ' কোনোবাই যদি আপোনাক কুৱেশ্যনছ কৰে মাইল্ড এক্সপ'জাৰ কণ্ডিশ্যন মানে কি, এ কংক্ৰিট ছাৰ্ফেচ হুইচ প্ৰটেক্টেড ফ্ৰম ৰেইন, তাৰ ওপৰত কভাৰ্ছবিলাক ৰেইনফৰ্চমেণ্টৰ কভাৰ্ছবিলাক ডিপেণ্ড কৰে. মডাৰেট হ'লে কংক্ৰিট ছাৰ্ফেচ এক্সপ'জ টু ৰেইন বাট নট টু ছেভাৰ ৰেইন. দ্য কংক্ৰিট ইন ছাবমাৰ্জ কণ্ডিশ্যন হ'লেও মডাৰেটত পৰি যায়, কংক্ৰিট ইন কষ্টেল এনভাইৰমেণ্টত মডাৰেটত পৰে. যেনেকৈ ছেভাৰৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত কংক্ৰিট এক্সপ'জ ইন ছেভাৰ ৰেইন, concrete surface subjected to alternative wetting and drying, or concrete surface in coastal areas. Okay, so hekhini mono rakhato dorkar. Tar pisote aru ketaman environmental exposure conditions ase very severe. So concrete surface subjected to sea water spray, aru jodi tidal zone ot thake then extreme ot poi jay concrete surfaces exposed to harmful chemical. Okay, tar upor depend kori belai covers bila change kora hoy. So ketiaba hudibo pare mild conditioner karone minimum gate kiman gate or concrete use koribo pare, M20 আৰু মিনিমাম নমিনেল কভাৰ 20 mm. চ' নেক্সট সুধিব পাৰে মডাৰেটৰ কাৰণে মিনিমাম নমিনেল কভাৰ কিমান, 30 আৰু মিনিমাম গেট 25. ছেভাৰ কণ্ডিশ্যনৰ কাৰণে মিনিমাম নমিনেল কভাৰ ইজ 45 এণ্ড মিনিমাম গেট ইজ 30. ভেৰি ছেভাৰ ইজ 50 and minimum gauge is 35 আৰু extreme ক্ষেত্ৰত 75 আৰু minimum gauge is 40 so এই টেবুলখন মনত ৰাখিব ট্ৰাই কৰিব পায়ে সুধি থাকে minimum nominal cover ওপৰত mild moderate severe very severe আৰু extreme conditioner ওপৰত okay so coming to the next slide so কেতিয়াবা bulk density ওপৰত বেসিস কৰিও কংক্ৰিটৰ ক্লাসিফিকেশন কৰা হয় লাইক সুপাৰ হেভি হ'ব যেতিয়া তাৰ ডেন্সিটিটো 2500 কেজি মিটাৰতকৈ বেছি হ'ব ডেন্স হ'ব 1800 পৰা 2500 কেজি পাৰ মিটাৰ কিউবৰ ভিতৰত থাকে লাইট ওয়েট কংক্ৰিট হ'ব যেতিয়া 500 পৰা 1800 কেজি পাৰ মিটাৰ কিউবত হয় আৰু এক্সট্ৰা লাইট ওয়েট কংক্ৰিট হ'ব যেতিয়া 500 কে তলৰ হ'ব সেই কেটেগৰীখিনি মনত ৰাখিব ট্ৰাই কৰিব দেন কংক্ৰিটক আৰু বেলেগ কিছুমান কেটেগৰীত ভাগ কৰিব পাৰি লাইক প্লেন কংক্ৰিট আৰু অৰ্ডিনাৰী কংক্ৰিট জোনা প্লেন কংক্ৰিটৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত দিস টাইপ অফ কংক্ৰিট ইজ ওৱান অফ দ্য মোষ্ট কমনলি ইউজ অফেন ফৰ দ্য কনষ্ট্ৰাকশ্যন অফ পেভমেণ্টছ যিবিলাক আমাৰ পেভমেণ্টছ হয় ৰোড কনষ্ট্ৰাকশ্যনত যিবিলাক ইউজ কৰা হয় তাতে কোনো ধৰণৰ ৰিইনফৰ্চমেণ্ট দিয়া নাযায় প্লেন অৰ্ডিনাৰী কংক্ৰিট দিয়া হয় when buildings are don't require very high tensile strength যদি tensile strength to নালাগে তেতিয়াহ'লে আমি অৰ্ডিনাৰী কংক্ৰিট প্ৰভাইড কৰোঁ ইয়াতে সিমেন্টছ এণ্ড এগ্ৰিগেট দিয়া হয় আৰু তাৰ ৰেচিঅ'টো প্লেন অৰ্ডিনাৰী কংক্ৰিটৰ 1:2:4 হয় মনত ৰাখিব as it unreinforced this type of concrete is suitable for many structure as it relatively poor at withstanding stress and induce vibration wind loadings and so on okay so density is 2200 পৰা 2500 compressive strength 200 over 500 tensile strength 50 from 100 and durability is very satisfactory okay then lightweight concrete or ক্ষেত্ৰত density to যদি 1920 তলত হয় তেতিয়াহ'লে এটুক lightweight বুলি কোৱা হয় lightweight concrete permeates scoria artificial materials like expanded cells clays process materials like partile vermiculture সেইবিলাক হৈছে basically lightweight concrete হয় lightweight concrete আর কোড ইউজ কৰা হয় so thermal insulationৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত protecting steel structure protect কৰিবলে long span bridge deck বা even as a building blocks বনাবলৈ lightweight concrete ইউজ কৰা হয় ইয়াৰ density টো কম হয় then list below the several types of lightweight aggregate suitable for structural reinforced concrete so কিছুমান ইউজ কৰা হয় like permis is used for reinforcement concrete mainly for industrial roof in Germany forms like was the first lightweight aggregate মনত ৰাখিব forms like হৈছে প্ৰথম lightweight aggregate which is suitable for the reinforcement concrete that was produced by large quantity in the UK then expanded clays and cells these are also capable of achieving sufficiently high strength pre-stressed concrete well established under the trades name argillite and Lea rockite and gravelite in USA sinters pulveris এইবিলাক ইমান ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট নহয় but lightweight weight যেটো concrete হয় তাৰ কিছুমান properties then high density concrete this type of heavyweight concrete has a greater density than other types of manufactured or crushed rock aggregates so যিবিলাক high density concrete হয় এইবিলাকে x-ray protectionৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত ব্যৱহাৰ কৰা হয় nuclear power প্লান্টৰ ক্ষেত্ৰতো ইউজ কৰা হয় আৰু তাৰ পিছত আহিব reinforcement concrete in case of reinforcement concrete in this concrete steel in various form is used as a reinforcement to give very high tensile strength in fact it is because of the combination of plain concrete and steel so yata steel jodi ami di diu concrete tete etu reinforcement concrete bole tensile strength jot besi lage tate yata use to besi hoy precast concrete this term refers numerous types of concrete shape that are cast into molds either in factory or at the site however they are not used in construction unit they are completely set and hardened in a controlled condition so for example precast posts কিছুমান আপোনালোকে যদি দেখা পায় concrete or lintels কিছুমান আছে staircase units concrete blocks তাতে আমি precast concrete যিবিলাক আগতে বনাই থোৱা concrete হেখিনি আমি ইউজ কৰো pre-stressed concrete is a special type of reinforcement concrete in which reinforcement bars are tensioned before being embedded in the concrete so pre-stressed concrete বিলাক এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ concrete যত reinforcement bars বিলাক আগতে tensile stage ৰাখি দিয়া হয় okay such tensions are held at ease and while the concrete mix is places যেতিয়া আমি mix to বনাই থাকে তেতিয়া tensions wire বিলাক লগোৱা হয় this results that when the concrete set and harden the whole concrete members so the cast is put into the compression okay so এটো আছিল আপোনাৰ pre-stressed concrete কেতিয়াবা হুদা যায় pre-stressed concrete কি হয় so pre-stressed concrete বহুতখিনি advantage আছে the potential of compressive strength of concrete is considerably increases the risk of development of tensile cracks and other lower section of the beam considerably reduced তাৰ পিছতে the resistance to shear is greatly reduced light members can be used in the untensioned reinforced concrete. The pre-stressed concrete is greatly favored in construction of bridge, long span roads, most structures of heavy roads. Hey, gutekhini use amar pre-stressed concrete kore. Next, another important types of concrete is air entrant concrete. Yet air particles কিছুমান থাকে. It is a specially prepared plain concrete in which air is entrained in the form of thousands of uniformly distributed particles. The volume of air thus entrained may range between 3 to 6% of the concrete. Keteba hodi de kiman percent? 3 to 6% of the concrete. Okay. The air entrainment is achieved by the adding a small quantity of forming or gas forming agents at the mixing stage. Fatty acid, fatty alcohol, reagents are some common air entering agents. Keteba hodi de air entering agents or names bilak tomar hiba fatty acid hok ba fatty alcohol ba reagents, these are the air entering agents. Air entering concrete is more resistant to scaling, deteriorations or abrasions. So ihotor benefit hoise ebilake resist kore scaling or deteriorations due to freezing or thawing, jiman bilak deterioration hoy tat resist kore aru abrasions. Okay. So coming to the next part, glass concrete. When the recycled glass is used in an aggregate in concrete, this type of concrete is known as glass concrete. They provide better thermal insulation. So glass concrete are used to as a thermal insulation to basically provide repeat hardening concrete. This type of concrete is mostly used in underwater construction. So MCQ to be underwater construction or concrete use kora hoy, repeat hardening concrete is use kora hoy. Okay, because of its hardening time it's very less, it can be hardened in just a few hours. They can also use in building construction where the work should be done fast. Okay, so coming to the next slide. So asphalt concrete. Asphalt concrete is a combination of aggregate of asphalts and it is also known as asphalt. They are very vastly used in highways, airports as well as embankment. They can be hardened in just an hour. That's the reasons for its vast uses of the loads. Then lime concrete. In this type of concrete, lime is used as a binding material. So lime use kore ami tak lime concrete bili kau. Then palm concrete. Palm concrete is used for high rise buildings where concrete confidence other than palm is not easy to attack. So tia concrete bilak পাম্পৰ যোগেদি হাই ৰাইজ বিল্ডিঙৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত লৈ যোৱা হয়. দিছ ইজ নাথিং বাট পাম্প কংক্ৰিট. চ' সেইটো ইমান ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট নহয়. দেন coming to the next, vacuum concrete. In this type, more quantity of water is added to the concrete mix and then mixture is poured into the formwork. The excess water is then removed from the concrete with the help of vacuum pump. So vacuum pump use kora hoy tate ami vacuum concrete use kore. Then shortcut, very important, shortcut is a concrete prepared in the same manner as ordinary, but the difference is that they are placed differently. So belek they are places with the help of the higher air pressure. Jodi air pressure di pele place kora hoy tete etu shortcut bili koa hoy. Through nozzles place kora hoy. The benefits of this technique is that compaction and placing of concrete will be done simultaneously. So belek ke aru compaction koribo na lage. So compaction aru concrete placing ei duita ekeloge hoi jay shortcut. Then permeable concrete. Permeable concrete is prepared such a manner that the water can be passed in it. So water karone voids rakha hoy. They have 15 to 20% voids so that the water can pass. These are the permeable concrete. Then ready mix concrete. Nowadays it is very useful. The concrete this type is prepared in the concrete plants and or transport by the help of trucks. So concrete planot bonwa hoy tar pisot tar por jogeri loi jay to the transit mixer. Once they are reached at the site, then there is no further treatment. So treatment kun dhorono koribo na lage, ami direct loi jabo paru from the truck. So concrete planor par loi belai preferred location ot jetia di dia hoy tenuka dhoroner concrete bilak jeto agote ready hoi thake hikane ready mix concrete bele koa hoy. The plane location will be at an adjustable location so that the concrete be supplied before setting time. So setting time agote concrete black supplied koribole try kora hoy. Tar pisote self consolidated concrete. This type of concrete are compacted by its own weight, mean by the process of consolidation. There is no need of using vibrator or doing manual compaction. The workability of the concrete is always high in type. That's why the reason is also known as following concrete. Following concrete is basically used where the workability of the concrete should be large, so what workability besi lage. Okay, then fiber reinforcement concrete eto ajikali use kora dekha jay. It is in that type of concrete in which steel fibers 10 to 20 microns in diameter and 10 to 50 mm length is used. Fiber increases kio fiber ami use koru resilience bahai die, tensile strength bahai die, flexible bahai die and other flexibility khetrot increase kore. Tar pisote other qualities bilako increase kore. So fiber keteba use kora hoy. Then fly ash concrete, jot fly ash dia hoy jibla kolor pora obtain কৰা হয় up to 30% of fine aggregate and 25% of cement have been replaced by the fly ash যদি ইউজ কৰোঁ কি সুবিধা হয় ফ্ৰেছ কংক্ৰিট তো ৱৰ্কেবিলিটি বঢ়াই দিয়ে আৰু ডিউৰেবিলিটি আৰু ষ্ট্ৰেংথটো বঢ়াই দিয়ে মনত ৰাখিব then high strength concrete is a concrete with the strength over 40 newton per mm square. It is also known as high performance concrete used to achieve some special properties like high strength, low sinkage, self compaction, high fire resistance, etc. Okay, and nowadays polymerized concrete is also used. Polymerization is a process of conversion of monomers into polymers. In normally concrete you should have been seen that micropores cannot be avoided. So the impregnations of monomers into these pores and subsequent polymerization is the technique that has been developed recently to reduce the porosity of the concrete and to improve its strength and other properties. The following are the 4 types of polymer concrete. So polymer concrete or khetroto kisman type ase polymer impregnant concrete, polymer Portland cement concrete, polymer concrete, partially impregnant and surface coated polymer concrete. Last type of concrete, no fines concrete. The term no fines concrete generally means concrete composed of cement coarse aggregate only jot fine particle na thake. Okay, so tenuka dhoroner concrete no fines concrete boli koa hoy and products of form has many uniformly distributed voids bahut hekane void thaki jay. No fines concrete is mainly used for load bearing cast in situ external and internal walls, non load bearing walls and underflow filling for soil ground floor. So hekhini asile types of concrete. Jodi video to sab laptop howa jan lagise then please like, share and subscribe for the channel too. So once again thank you for watching.